Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you how I do a journal cover. I make one from scratch out of chipboard. And there's different things that I've used along the way to make my journals. Sometimes I've used, the bubble mailers. That's very popular, where you just kind of fold it in half and cover it with material, or you can cover it with paper. Uh, a lot of times you could use fabric tack on this to glue your material to it. And then one time I used brads. I didn't have a sewing machine, so I couldn't like sew the outside edge. So I took and put my material here on the back side, make sure it's a little bit bigger. And then I poked a brad all the way through. And that was the Peacock Journal. So if you want to see how that was made, you could go to the Peacock Journal, and I think I showed on one of them. I can't remember which one. But yeah, that is one of the easiest ways. Gail Augustinelli does hers almost every time like this. And then there's the choice of using a book. And it's usually, here's a Danielle Steele. I got that at the Dollar Tree for, what, $1.25. It's a nice size. It must have been a little warped, and that's why it made it there. Her books usually don't make it. They're pretty popular. But you'd take you a book cover like this, and you could cover it however you wanted to. And you could gut out the pages inside of it. Now, I saw somebody, I think it was with the Craftly Hall, and they had done something to where they kind of dug it out a little bit and kind of made it like, I don't know if it was a tunnel book or what it was, but it was kind of intriguing, and it stuck in my head. That's what happens. Things stick in my head, and I kind of go from there. Well, I had done some more coffee dyeing the other day, where I take the 4 tea bags and steep them, put a little thing of Folgers Instant in there, in like a quart of water, and then I dip and bathe my papers, and then I'll put them out. Well, I wanted to try the thing where I do the deck not railing, the planks that I get the wood grain. I tried that to see if I could get a darker grain, and it didn't work, but it was still, pretty good. I did take a few of them and lay them up on my my seat, which has sort of a woven grid design. And it didn't, I don't know. It was a hot day. I thought for sure it would come out. Now that's better than the other ones that I've seen. See how that turned out? But, oh, and look at the backside. It's a little dirty. My husband had ran and threw up the welcome mat up there. It's like made out of black tar or something. So it kind of left an impression there. Hadn't been raining much here. But yeah, most of these are that grid design. Oh, got a lot on the back side of that one. So, I could use these as a base for like a grungy journal and do some stamping or something on the outside edges. And then this would be like part of the layering. So that's what I'm going to do there. Now, this is where I'm getting into the planks. And I laid them both ways. So I'd have the lines going this way and the lines going that way. And you can see I had more, they were blown around. It looked like it was dead, no wind. And then, it starts up as soon as you lay them down. So that one turned out good. That has the nails in it. And some, though, didn't get much. I laid that right where there was 2 sets of boards meeting each other. Now, that turned out pretty good. But other than that, like, I don't know. It was another hit and miss situation. I got better results when I laid my stuff out in the grass. But I really wanted to get those boards again. I think all of these, the lines go this way, and then I get back here to a certain point, and you'll see where I went the other way. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I got the lines going that way, just in case there was a time that you wanted them to go in another direction. Now, that turned out good. I never could get any knots to come out really well for me. So, yeah. So, that's how that dyeing episode went. It's good enough. I got some tea dye papers, whether it's got something on them or not. And then, as I was speaking about using book covers, I had gutted this one a while back, and was going to use it for something, but it's a tad shorter than the required, where you'd fold one of these in half. So if I folded that in half and try to get it in there, see, it's very tight. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of it off, maybe 1/4 of an inch, to make it fit correctly. And then I think I'm okay with it where it's at. I mean, if it sticks out just a little bit on this end, I may rip the edges, and I don't know. This one was the one I had intended for the school journal. As you can see, I dyed it up and everything. It's a little warpy. I was in a flood in my basement. But I found a digital. Gosh, what was this digital? I think it was a freebie somewhere. Now, I got all kinds of stuff printed here. Good grief. What was this? No, I bought it. Oh, man. No, I didn't buy it. I think it was Tracy Fox. Creative. I really do. I think it was on her Ko-fi site, maybe. I'll have to find out before I start putting this thing together. And I think that was a freebie from another one of her pages. But I was going to go with a lace theme here. So I'll show you what papers I did get. This was from Scrapbooking with Me. Mrs. E, I don't know if she's making up a digital that has these old trucks in it. I'm not crazy about the flower ones she's been doing lately, but anything with the old looking truck kind of situation, I'm thinking of throwing something together at some point. You know how I am. I think about it for a long time. But here we go. All right. So here's the pages. Isn't that pretty? It's got like some little beads there. And it has kind of like laces all over it. And then it's kind of I cheated and used a few other lace designs that I had. This one here has the music paper on it. And I don't know if I got that the right way. No, it's that way. It kind of didn't go through my printer quite good, so ripping it will be good. That one had a few flowers on it. I probably have it upside down. The one with the butterflies are really, really pretty. But he'll be cut in half when you fold him into your journal. But it looks like he's got little jewels all around him. So this might be one I'm going to do a lot of, frou-frou, shabby, chic-y kind of looking to it. I don't know. I'll probably grunge it up a little bit, with the edges, because I do want to rip them since I don't think they're going to fit in there. I put a little color on some. That was another lace. I think that was, oh gosh, I can't remember their name now. Never mind. Like I said, I'll come up with these names later. But there's that one and another one of those lace backgrounds. This one has a bird cage. And I don't know what that is. Maybe a book or a banner. I used a little burlap because there was some burlap on one of these. I can't remember which. So I thought the burlap might be all right. That color burlap's good. I don't know what happened to the other one. I'll cover it up with something. This is a couple butterflies. Oh, there's a white one there. I didn't see him before. But yeah, it's kind of... I got a gray one. Oh, well... And then we have a heart here with some more lace. It was a real pretty makeup. I don't know. I may have bought this. I still can't figure it out. More bird cages and frames. Oh, I must have printed that one wrong. Well, I would be putting lace on those edges. That's all you have to do. If you mess up, don't panic. There is always something you can do. And that's what just hit me. This is going to be a lace book. I can like edge it with a little bit of vintage photo. Just to get the white, knock the white off. And that would go perfectly with these colors here. Then I'm going to lay lace over top of it. Or, no, I want to deaden that a little bit. Make it, I don't want it that white. Now that one has a little bit of pop of yellow up there at the top. I had ink in my... and then for some reason, that's upside down. Which way is that one supposed to go? Oh, crap. I printed it upside down because You know, if I cover that, I don't think anybody would notice. But I kind of like the background. It was a sewing theme, so I went with that. Here's another one with flowers and words, and another sewing one. I swear, I think it's the way she does her stuff, and it switches around on me. I've had that problem before. Here's one with a pretty heart and some jewels and just a base design. I think these are Angela Kerr. I'm thinking. And then here's just like a little basic design. Oh, and that one. So that's what's going to go in here. Now, this was a freebie. I think it was from Tracy Fox as well. So it just got put in the pile. All right, so that's what I am doing there. And this doily is here because I know it's a weird green and everything, but I was thinking of trying to get it to go around the outside here, and I was going to cover it with buttons as much as possible. I don't know, though. It's so green. Maybe I'll find me another doily I can use. And then this is kind of my template for the inside. Okay, let me get that out of the way. I just bombard you, don't I? Okay, so today we are doing I'm trying to think where I put them. All right, we're going to be doing a journal cover. This is the end product right here. Right here. Well, thank you everybody for coming to visit. I hope you learn a little bit today, either about how I make things or how you could possibly make things yourself with what you have at home. As you can see, pizza. Pizza is the name of the game around here. Whenever I see a pizza box, I save it because it's the best piece. It's already 12 inches wide, and you get a little bit more with those edges, you know, you can add on to. Now, what I do is I'll usually take either cat food boxes, pizza boxes, whatever I've got. Like here, this is probably where I gutted that ambrosia pack the other day. I couldn't really see where I could use anything, and see, it's shining. I'm not crazy about shiny. I mean, that's pretty up there. So I may be able to use some of that, but this is just for example. Like I would take 2 to 3 layers of whatever you might have. And as you can see, I've either used pizza box, I've used cat food boxes, I've used these, I've used, depending on the size, a pancake box or a Bisquick box, cereal box. Any of those chipboard pieces would work great. So if you wanted, you could go ahead and measure this thing out to being the size that you want to go with. Like usually it's a 9 by 6. So you could mark over here 6 inches and then mark from the top that you want it to be 9 inches. And then you cut that out. Well, I found out the other day after doing 2 or 3 of these, because I made one for that other journal that I haven't really done anything with for a while, that the better way to do it is to put it all together like this. Just glue it. I'm using Mod Podge matte in this yellow container. I'm finding that really nice. And any kind of old brush you got. And as you can see, this one's been used so long that the bristles have glued halfway down. But it still gets the job done. I like this better than those spatula things everybody's using, because at least with this, I can pick it back up again. I don't know. I haven't got a spatula, so maybe you can do that with those, but I haven't found where, you know, I've gotten around to that point yet. So anyway, you would either pour it out or spread it out with your brush, and you would put it all over that and glue it together. And that's how I've been doing it, gluing the whole solid piece. Then I have one of these Tim Holtz rulers. You know, I've messed it up over time and everything. Don't use fingernail polish remover to clean it. Fair warning. All right, so it has a metal piece here on the end. And I will take, where are you hiding? There it is. I will take my X-Acto knife, and I will go ahead and I'll do that measuring out like I was showing you before. And I'll take, and I'll keep, you have to do it 4, 5, 6, 7 passes to get it to cut. But you could cut it at the 9-inch mark here, right there, and then up here you would have enough for your spine. So you need to make 3 pieces all together. And then, once you do that part, you have something like this. You'll have the 3 pieces. Now, this one I made especially tall because I have this other doily that I've been wanting to use. It's a really cool looking doily. I think that's the inside, and this is the outside. It was something Mom gave me. I don't know if you consider this Battenberg. I don't think it is. But I want it to be big enough, and I had to cut it down a little bit to make them both even, because that's the one thing you really want to make sure of, that both of your front and your backs are even, and then your spine is the right length as the other two. Okay, so anyhow, it's going to go on there like that. I haven't figured out what paper I'm going to put on it or anything. That'll come later. That'll be later. So the part I'm going to be showing you is the part where we're going to glue this together. And if you have any paper packs, like when I get Stamperia, I get, you know, the package that it comes in, and some other paper packs you can get it. But I cut mine in half, and what I do is I'll lay it out. And I'm sure you've seen these videos all over the internet about how people will put their books together. And I put my books, once I glue all this together, I've got a really heavy book that I will put them under. And it's it's my Wayne County Genealogy Society newsletters. So you know that's heavy. But what I also do is I use this really cheap board, cutting board, that I got from Walmart. And you've seen me use it with mixed media stuff before, as you can see. But one side is scooped out, so I guess if you cut vegetables, the juice will stay in there. But then the other side is nice and flat. So you could use that side to push down with. And then I'll lay this big honking thing on top of it. And I'll put it on the bar or something and let it just sit there for all night. And it makes it nice and flat. Let me tell you. But yeah, I have to set these to where I have the middle right there. And you've got these guides and stuff that you can get. I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that. I just look at it and give it so much distance. Like you can see exactly how this piece of box went together. But you don't want it to be that close. You want it to be about like that. Like you could turn it up, and that's what you're going to want exactly. It's actually a little bit wider than this. And you can actually make a little wedgie thing to go in there. You can see that's kind of bowed. They will try to go and be a little bowy. So you have to sometimes retrain them. But yeah, you can actually make you a little bit of something that's going to go in between and act as your wedge to gauge that. Now I've got my other one here. It's only going to be brought out when I'm ready to put it over top after I've glued this. But what I'll do is I'll just take strips. This is muslin, so it's 100% cotton. And it works just as good. Like, that's actually the perfect size. It's actually what they suggest to use, usually with book binding and stuff like that, is a cotton fabric. So this would work perfectly. So, and it's just something extra that I had. That's not quite long enough, so we'll cut it up a little bit further. I'm going to cut just about 1.5 inches, I think. It's just to combine and attach your 3 pieces together. So we're going to go up here like that. Figure out if I got the right distance, just a little more, and then I'm going to cut it across. All right, so, and I usually go with 4 pieces. So let me cut up through here, cut that off. So far I gotta trim that one down a little bit. I don't want it quite that big. And then I need to trim this one down. So this is all you gotta do. Get out of here, fly. I'm gonna put you in the guillotine here in a minute. Now I could have kept that. Tying the top of tags and stuff, if you pull out this side and make it kind of raggedy. Actually, I'm going to do that. It'll make a cool top for you to use. You can dye it. You can spray it with some inks. You can do anything. Well, let me get a 4th piece here and cut this one down. I'll be right back. Now, sometimes these will jiggle around on you. So what you could do is just take some of your washi and just kind of gauge where it's supposed to be again. And just put you a piece of the washi here. I don't think it'll make a difference in the overall construction of this if you got a little washi stuck in between. I'm trying to get it to go across. See, it's still kind of difficult to work with. So that's why I said this is gonna probably make your life a little easier. There's a bunch of guides and things that I've seen people do in those videos. They put books together. They'll start like with this, and then they have a guide where they're putting their material and all that on there. It makes it faster, I can say that. Now I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing that this one here is a little higher because it's not as far down on that side. So I'm going to get in there and adjust it real quick and then stick that back down. And so I'm going to do that here. Make sure I have the distance that I want. And then I'm going to put that down. Ugh. I found out that Yellowstone, they've been advertising Yellowstone. I think we spoke about it in another video. It's going to be on November 10th. The final version or something of it, they said. So I'm pretty sure Kevin Costner's not going to be on it. All right, so I'm going to take my glue, and I'm just going to go down through here like this and cover the side. And I'm going to gauge on both sides because I know about how big I want it to be. Sometimes you can get in between here if you get too much glue in the center. And you can get in there with your brush once you turn it over. Because I'll sometimes turn it over. See, I got a little drip of it right there. It went in between. All right. I'll set it over here and put my brush on my lid. And we're going to stick this one down. And then I'm going to go across it again. Put me enough on there. And I'm going to just, it's like I'm decoupaging or whatever you call that. Collaging. Maybe it's decoupage I'm looking for the name of. And I'll just keep brushing and smoothing that out. And that's adhering it to my material or my board underneath. Now this is one of the better ways to do it because it's keeping you with your it's keeping it all together. Like, I don't know how some people will make their journals, you know, but you want them well made to last a while. And I think you've heard me say in the past that I would choose a very, I would choose to use the two-way tape, which is, I don't think I have one in a container, but this is the two-way tape where you can get it in different sizes. That's what I've used in the past, and it has bled through like one of my 2 older journals. I showed that in one of my videos. It was not pretty. I kept thinking, where is that all coming from? And that was that two-way tape, and I had used it to put something in, and it just kind of messed my whole page up. And I've never had problem with, you know, art glitter glue or the Barely Arts glue giving me issue like that. I've got a bit of a bump here. I should have left this under. I pulled it out and haven't had it under my weight for a while, but once I get my weights on here, it's going to fix that issue that you can see. Now, while it's still nice and wet, go in there again with your second piece. Get that baby good. Give it a bath. And you can trim off all this excess once it's dry, once you're safe, and you can mess around with it, you know. So you just keep painting. Oh, pretend you're gessoing. All right, I'm going to smear a little bit more on here before I put mine over here. And I'll put my second piece on. All right. Yeah, I figured this might be something that might be useful to show you in case you would like to do your own. And you see these people do them and they make them look so easy, but it's actually hard. It's not that hard. It's just, it's sort of precise. I mean, especially with the size, like cutting this the same as this. And that's why I said, well, I did a better job instead of cutting them all apart. Because in the past, when I've cut each piece separate and then tried to glue these three together, I will get something sticking out. No problem whatsoever somewhere. It's something sticking out. And I found it easier to cut them afterward. So that's that's my tip to you. Cut them afterward. All right, I threw my paintbrush in the water in the sink in there. And now I'm going to show you what we're doing here. We're putting this paper over top. And what I want to do is I want to go to my other side and make sure I don't have too much running in between that the glue went through. So I'm going to carefully flip it like that. And as you can see, I did get a bit of glue that came in between. So I'm taking that off and finding a little scrap piece of paper towel or something. And I'm going to go ahead and do that like that and just get it out of there as close as I can. I could come back in here. Now, I feel like that's a little too close. And look, I'm able to squish that apart a little bit, right like that. It's moving for me. So now it looks good. See how much distance I've got in between both of them? So we're good. Now I'm going to let that dig down in there. Ooh, yeah, got a whole bunch out of there. So let me see if I can do that again. Oh, I don't think I need to. I think I got it all out. There we go. So it's a little bit of fidgeting, but, you know, in the long run, it's something you've made out of trash. I mean, who can say that? I mean, it's great. You made something out of trash. Now, I have a little bit more. Oh, I got to put that in there. Where I want to reuse this to wipe this off because I'm going to have to lay this back over it so I can put my heavy weight on it, you know. So, yeah, I always try to think ahead and don't make too much of a mess. Although that's hard. That's hard in crafting. Okay, so there. I'm going to lay that back over here. And then I'm going to put my big heavy weight on it. I'm carrying it out to, because I got to work on this for another video. So I'm going to carry it out to my bar, to a nice flat surface, a table, whatever. You've got to protect it. You've got it in the plastic. Nothing's going to go where you don't want it to go. So feel free to take it somewhere. Just have some extra goodies underneath of it. An old tablecloth. You know, the vinyl tablecloths are great. But remember, Mod Podge Matte is the one I use. It's a water-based glue, sealer, and finish. So it will do most of what you need. You know, it's only like $4, if that. And I've got at least another that much in there. And I've done, what, 3, 4 of these where I'm using it in between. And then the pieces to put the material down. So I hope that is good enough to let you know how to do. Like, I would take this and put this right here, and then I'll put my big mat on it. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else I needed to show you at the moment. I have had 90% of my viewers want to see Craftly haul every day, me crafting every day of the haul. And I think I worded that wrong on my Rhoda's Junk page because I didn't think they understood what I meant. So what I was saying was I was going to craft every day of it. Like the next ones I'll do is probably day 9 and 10. And then I'll probably do those the same day. And then the next day on my videos, you'll see something different. You won't see them every single day. I don't want you to think that you're going to just get in, bombarded with Craftly haul. So anyhow, okay, keep the faith, everybody. All right. Thank you for coming to visit. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight on what you could do with what you might have around the house. A little bit of this, a little old brush that's, my brush is 35 years old. And you see it did a pretty good job. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.